Grandest of risings, everyone. I hope that today finds you doing everything that you can to restore truth and justice and balance to this world, and being flexible and flowing with what comes, and being comfortable with disengaging from societal constructs. I decided to make this channel because this has never been an easy place to live, this world, but in recent years, with all of the natural disasters, fires, floods, hurricanes, that sort of thing, on top of just soaring, exorbitant real estate and rental prices, and just the obvious ongoing things of people that need to escape domestic violence situations, or get evicted due to not being able to afford their rent or mortgage, or people that just choose to live differently because they prefer to have their money to have more experiences in life, rather than just pouring it all into a place to live. Excuse me. I would love to remove the stigma from those that have to live non-traditionally. There's far too much judgment and that sort of thing. I'm going to be doing this with quite a bit of anonymity, just because I do still have minor children. There are people in this world that are very unkind, very judgmental, and also agencies that do not comprehend or accept the realities that living non-traditionally can be perfectly safe and healthy, and even preferable. And so they like to cause problems for people. So I'm going to start out with how to sleep in an SUV, or sometimes a car, in the winter time, and stay toasty warm, at least above, negative temperatures. I haven't tested that out yet. Excuse me. It's very icy here this morning, and my throat is making that known. So, of course, obviously, everybody's situation is different. Everything that I'm going to post isn't going to apply to strict nomads. But you can take what fits and spit out what doesn't, obviously, as with everything. So, with that said, I will tell you a little bit of my story in a little bit, so that it will help further the removing the stigma, and realizing that it's people of all sorts who wind up in situations that are different than the quote-unquote American dream, better homes and gardens style life. Okay, so the first thing is that I will always have on a pair of leggings. Then I'm going to put on a nice thick pair of warm pajamas. These are silly Christmas themed, which is not my thing, but my sweet neighbor gifted them to me, and they serve the purpose, so why not? Then I'm going to have on a big loose sweatshirt over a nice soft comfy t-shirt for layering. And as you see here, I have a seat cover on my back seat, so that when you may not be able to see it very well with me standing in the sunlight, but that's for obviously keeping my seats safe when my dogs get into the car, or kids, or whatever, basic stuff. So over here, this lump that you see is my bedding, rolled up and covered in what I consider to be a pretty pattern of a plastic or rubber-backed curtain to keep things off of my bedding while it's not being used, and the vehicle is being used for other things, and also you know, just makes it look a little more aesthetically pleasing. Gives it a little more of a homey feel rather than a wad of bedding just thrown into the seat, especially because I've started doing some Uber Eats and DoorDash deliveries to make some extra cash, and you know, you really don't want to see somebody's stuff wadded up in the back seat when you're loading deliveries into their car. It doesn't go over very well. So that serves, it's not the neatest job right now, but it's doing what it's doing. Anyway, I keep a jacket hung over the back and my scarf over the front seat so that they are easily accessible when I get up. So that'll be in the next video. So I uncover the bedding. I hope that you can see this, and this is not hard to understand what I'm doing. I unroll all the bedding, and it's 3 different comforters that I have gotten for $1 to $2. Actually 4 comforters, 1 on top, at thrift stores, local thrift stores. The ones that have a mark or a stain or whatever, that is not going to bother me because it's not in a house, you know, it's not in a place where anybody's going to see it, and I'm not even going to see it, so stains don't bother me. Anyway, I fold them all in half for extra padding. I also want to get a memory foam cot mattress to put underneath here, just to make it easier on the joints. But I unroll 3 of the comforters, like so. Let me get my shadow out of the way. And then the pillows will go here next to the door. I put 2 layers of pillows, and then the 4th comforter down there that's folded in half will be on top of me, and it's a down comforter, a feather comforter, which is not something I would go out and purchase at a store, but it was at the thrift store already being thrown out, so I didn't see any reason not to, and it is extremely warm. So those things combined, along with a second pair of socks, and then I put a couple of throw blankets. Let me get down there. I'll crawl in here. This is the 4th. Comforter. I reach over, grab the pillows, bring them down to this side. By this point, I would normally be inside. I'm going to be inside the car, sitting down, have the door shut. Probably showing you all kinds of things you don't need to see. Anyway, a couple of throw blankets. So I have a couple of throw blankets down at the end just to extra insulate my feet. Then I'll reach over the back where I've got my clothes back behind the seat, grab an extra pair of socks. I've got my comforter on top. What I'm going to do is take off my inexpensive synthetic, no leather, no real shearling boots. I put them here so they can just be put on in the morning before I get out. Another pair of shoes down here. You'll have to excuse all of the grass all over the floor. I live on a homestead, and I'm in and out with melting ice and frost on the grass and sticking to my boots and what have you. So anyway, I'll put my extra socks on, and here we go. Pull up my top comforter. Guys, I know I could do a better job videoing. This is my first time. I'm not a video master. I just want to share this stuff with people. Excuse all of the things you see outside the window. I was just helping someone clear out a home they lost and had to move out of. And so I've pulled a lot of things that I hauled home out of the car, and they are still being distributed. And then you see some homesteading stuff out here. So this right here, if you are 5'6" or under, you will just be able to fit to stretch out and get some sort of straight sleep. Otherwise, I mean, I'm a side sleeper anyway, so I wind up curled up in the fetal position, and obviously that gives me plenty of room. But here you go. This will keep you, and if you sleep with a toboggan on, a beanie, some sort of little warm hat. I have mine around here somewhere. I'm not sure where I've put it, but I either wear it or I keep it on the seat like these other items for in the morning. Another thing that will help is these Thermacare patches. They have different ones. They have for neck, menstrual cramps, back, etc. These, if you put them on your back and on your front, on your belly, that will help keep your core warm for hours and hours and hours. You could also put them on your toes, I guess, wrap them around your feet if you wanted. And then they also have hot hands, which is something that motorcycle riders will use to keep their hands warm when they're riding motorcycles. I've done that before as well. And you can put those in your pockets. You can put your, put a couple in your socks and things like that. So, okay, that's my crude instructional video on how to keep warm. I have slept like this down into the 20s, 21, and been incredibly toasty. In fact, too hot at times. So if you're not in North Dakota or somewhere incredibly cold, this should work for you. I don't know about there, but with the rise of car fires, people trying to do dangerous things to keep warm, I want to show you some not just no-build and expensive ways to do things, but more safe. So I will be in the next video showing you what I do when I get up in the morning when it's cold, to keep from having to open the door, go outside, and freeze my tuchus off. All right, much love. See you in the next one.